All right, we're going to jump into a swing check here from my buddy Brian. Overall, posture and setup looks pretty solid. Let's go ahead and take a look at this swing here. Watch him hit the ball here. Really a pretty solid golf swing here, if you ask me. There's only going to be a couple of things that we're going to talk about here. And all right, so let's jump right in. So overall, Brian does have a pretty good setup. I would say that we could maybe drop the hands just a tad. I mean, just a couple of degrees to get that primary swing plane line going through the belly button there. Overall, the rest of the setup is really pretty good. As we bring the club back, you can see the club face is in alignment with the hands perfectly here. That's a great takeaway position. He's loading into his right knee, which is going to be allowing him to engage the quads and hamstrings. Now, it's kind of rare that you see this, but it does happen sometimes. So you've got, in this position, in my opinion, I think he's got a little bit of an over-rotation of the hips. Now, I'm not saying, you do want the hips to rotate backwards, but if you get the hips rotating too far backwards, what tends to happen is that you'll start to increase pelvic tilt, and you get a little bit of a slanting of that pelvis there at the top position. But that's not necessarily a huge deterrent. I would just say that if you wanted to make that adjustment, you could by just restricting the hips a little bit more. And that's just going to put more emphasis on the hips opening up and rotating forwards and shifting forwards. Now, as you start the downswing, you've got a great transition. You can see the shaft of the golf club gets right on that primary swing plane line, which is perfect. Keeping the club face behind the hands in the downswing, which is great as well. And then now that he's connected, he's going to start to open up the body by turning and tilting into that hitting zone. You can see he's got really good right shoulder tilt. His chest is towards the target. His hips are towards the target. Makes solid contact by taking the divot and then kind of exploding out. Now here on this position, you can see the shaft of the golf club is exiting that left shoulder line, which is great. Sorry, my scroller thing is not working there. He does have a little bit of a tug in that elbow. You can see how close the elbow is to the side of his body there. But so he might be able to work a little bit more on the release of his arms. But other than that, it's a great golf swing. Overall, I would not change much. If you're hitting the ball the way you want to, Brian, I wouldn't change a thing. It looks like you are. That ball's taking off exactly where you're looking. If you start to struggle with direction and things like that, then you can make some adjustments. But overall, great golf swing. I hope that helps. As always, aim small, swing smooth. Peace.